Hey there, guys. Welcome back. Got a second game 7 in the books, and holy cow, what a game this was. It was the two-time defending champion Lightning on the road at Toronto. And man, well, I mean, this dandy of a game. And Toronto did almost pretty much everything they could do. I mean, honestly. But it's just, I mean, it's like bad draw, bad, whatever. But what do you say we get into this? The first period starts. A lot of end to end action. Vasilevsky made a couple of really good saves. I know Campbell played really well, and there weren't a whole ton of shots, but these ones are killers. Granted, it didn't happen in the last minute, but basically the last minute and a half of a period. Oof, it's Paul getting his first of the postseason from Colton and Foote at 18:24. That gives the Leafs, that gives the Lightning a 1-0 lead. And they got all the confidence in the world. I mean, they get a lead. They're hard to play against. However, the last couple of games, they had multi-goal leads, and they lost those leads. But tonight, not exactly the case. Second period starts. Good end-to-end action again. Looked like at about the 8.5 minute mark, it looked like Tavares had tied the game. And because they're going nuts, but referee's arm came up, and Justin Hall was called for interference in front of the net. He basically set a pick in front of the net. You can't do that, and the referee the referee threw the arm up, and the puck oddly enough goes in. It's looking like, tie game. Nope. Goal comes off the board. Penalty is issued. Tampa goes on the power play. They don't convert on it. But Toronto does get. They kind of get that back, even though the Tavares shot didn't count as a goal. This one does. It's Riley from Matthews and Marner at 13:25. So that ties the game at 1 apiece. And the place just goes ballistic. I mean, Toronto, inside Scotiabank Center, they're going nuts. Maple Leaf Square outside, they're all just going crazy. And they're feeling it. The Leafs are feeling it, without a doubt. However, Paul again at 16:32 puts a stop and silences that crowd as Paul gets his second goal of the postseason unassisted at 16:32. That puts the Lightning up 2-1. And again, a lot of end-to-end action. Third period starts. Third period starts, Toronto is just, they're hauling. I mean, they are moving. They are getting shots galore on Vasilevsky, and Vasi doing what he does. He all of a sudden turns into a brick wall, and the Leafs just can't seem to get anything past him. They pull the goalie with a little over 2 minutes left. They're generating all kinds of chances. I mean, they're throwing everything they can at him, and they're getting cleared out. And Finally, it gets down to the last 10 seconds. The puck gets kind of held up against the boards in the corner, and it gets cleared out with about 2 seconds left, and the Leafs get a chance with about 1 second left as they fire it on, but it doesn't go in, and the Tampa Bay Lightning, the two-time defending champions, are still defending. They hang on to this one. They come back from being 3-2 down. They go into Toronto, and they pull out a huge win. And for Toronto, I've always thought that the Minnesota sports teams are cursed. I don't know if the Minnesota sports teams can really hold a candle right now to Toronto. They have not won a series since 2004. It's been 18 years since they've won a playoff series. But they are 0-10 now. Since 2013, they are 0-10 when they have an opponent on the ropes and can eliminate them. I don't know what it is. They get that third win in a round, and they can't get that fourth. I don't know why. It's weird. But this is the second year in a row they've had home ice in Game 7, and they can't do it. They just can't seem to get over that hump. It's it's crazy. But I mean, the shots end up favoring Toronto. It's 8-6 Lightning in the first, 11-8 Lightning in the second, but then in the third it is 17-6 in favor of the Leafs, for a shot total of 31 for the Maple Leafs, 25 for the Lightning. There were no power play goals. The Lightning went 0 for 2 on the power play. The Leafs went 0 for 3. The saves, Vasilevsky, he literally turns into, if he's playing a Game 7, he turns into a wall, because he stopped 30 of 31. Campbell stopped 23 of 25, and neither goal that Campbell gave up, they weren't soft goals. He wasn't really he should have that one back. No, not at all. Now, they didn't have the 3 stars up on the app yet, so I kind of was looking, and I kind of created my own little 3-star list. Knowing the app, they'd probably come up with completely different, but to me, it's Logan Paul is your first, or Nick Logan Paul. Logan Paul, really? Don't think he plays hockey. Nick Paul is your first star, Vasilevsky your second, and Riley for Toronto is your third. That's, to me, that could be what the app says, but the app has not updated the 3 stars as of yet, as I'm recording this. So those are my 3 stars. And yeah, for Toronto, another heartbreaker. Another heartbreaker. They just, I don't know what it is. That team, they have a hell of a lot of talent. And I know, of course, a lot of, the media up there, a lot of the fans, it's time to blow it up. No. Last year, you could maybe say that, because you were up 3-1 last year in the North Division, in the All-Canada Division, against Montreal, a team that you clearly were better than. And you let them back. You not only let them back in, but they ended up winning. And the Canadians went all the way to the finals. This year, they have a great season. They ran into the 2-time defending champions. I mean, it's a bad draw. It really ends up being a bad draw. But honestly, they gave the two-time defending champions everything that they could handle. I mean, they couldn't have done any better. They played Tampa tough. And I mean, it would not surprise me if Tampa is able to pull this off and win a third straight. To me, I could see this series being the main driver of what, gets them on that horse to make that run again, because they were down 3-2. They were in a situation that they have not been in the last 2 years. Not since 2019. They not only were pushed to Game 7, but they had to force the Game 7. And they had to do it in overtime in Game 6. So it's not that Toronto didn't have the chances. I mean, but again, you're playing the defending two-time champions. I mean, what more can you do? I mean, they did everything. They did everything except win. I mean, that's all, and in the end, that's what ends up mattering is, the winning. But, people in the media, I think up in Toronto, they're going to be screaming, you need to blow this whole thing up. People need to be fired. Everything, wholesale changes. No. Not when you lose to the defending two-time champions. I mean, there's nothing to blow up to me. This was a fantastic series. Toronto literally pushed Tampa to about as close as you can get without knocking the champs off. I mean, nobody's done that to Tampa since 2019. I mean, yeah, the Islanders last year took them to Game 7 in the conference final. But, and of course, Tampa ends up winning. That's the closest that Tampa's come. But not since 2019 was Tampa down and had to win to force that 7th game. They were down 3-2 to Toronto. They had to win at home in overtime, and then they had to go into Toronto, the hostile territory that is the Scotiabank Arena or Scotiabank Center or whatever they call it. I think Scotiabank up there has basically the naming rights on all the buildings in Canada. So, but I mean, they did everything they could do. Tampa is they're a different beast. They really are. Tampa is just a different animal, and now they will play. It'll be the Battle of Florida in the Atlantic Division Final, as the Florida Panthers play the Tampa Bay Lightning in what should be a very, very fun second round. Very fun second round. Needless to say, right now, as I'm recording this, the Oilers and Kings are playing their Game 7 right now, and when that game is done, and I have all the stats and everything put down on that, I will be back to do a review on that one also, and yeah, so Tampa Bay, they continue their title defense. They beat the Toronto Maple Leafs 2-1 in Game 7. They win the series 4-3. They advance to play their Florida counterparts in the Florida Panthers in the second round. And yeah, more Game 7s to come. Obviously, the one more that's going on right now tonight. And then the 2 tomorrow, which is the Calgary Flames and the Dallas Stars. And then the New York Rangers and the Pittsburgh Penguins. And yeah, those will be a lot of fun. So I thank you guys for being here. I thank you so much for your guys' support. If you're new and you're just cruising on through and you just happen to see this video, hopefully you watch it. If you watch it, hopefully you like it. If you really like it, hit that subscribe. Don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. I always, for some reason, point over here, but it's over there in that bottom corner. Don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. Can be your friend. So yeah. So 2 reviews down. I'll have one more here after a while, after the Kings and Oilers Game 7 is wrapped up. And yeah, I will see you guys again. I'll see you guys again soon. And again, if you like the video, hit that subscribe button. I greatly appreciate it. I appreciate all the support. And I'll see you guys again here real soon.